Hey guys, I'm Heather Taylor with Get Tailored, Form Fit Yourself to Your Soul. Also the owner of Lives in a Lifetime, the Everything and Nothing store in beautiful Mount Shasta, California. And I'm so excited to share with you about Lemurian Life Expo, which I'm one of the founders. We have so much jam-packed information and fun that every day I'm feeling that energy more and more, and I'm so excited to share that with you. Lemuria is a beautiful example of being able to live in diversity and honor that. You know, many people have many different views on how things are, and I feel like all of it should be honored. To me, Lemuria is about honoring that, honoring each perspective and being able to walk through those differences with compassion and love and joy and understanding with a level of openness that allows us to observe where other people are experiencing things that maybe we're not, or maybe they're bringing a piece in. You know, creation is all about the ability to have open. If we don't have the openness and we're just focused on one thing, then it closes out our ability to see what we can't see. To me, Lemuria is about truly walking a heart-centered life with the ability to have understanding and compassion and support for the diversities of people's visions and how we can bring that together collectively. Coming onto the event of Lemurian Life Expo, not just as a founder, but as a presenter as well, was a really powerful experience for me. You know, 'cause in the beginning, I was feeling Ashra, and I feel her still. Even now, I say her name, and she's coming through. But I feel like it's going to be more than that. You know, as we get closer and closer to the date, I can feel other layers coming through that want to explain the groundedness of the different layers of consciousness and really help the people to connect to their inner selves and to pick up the pieces that they're getting. There's so much. You know, one of the things with having so much is being able to discern what's going to be out here and come in later, and what's something that's just going to go straight into the heart and be anchored into the foundation immediately. And I feel that the closer I get, the more information that I'm receiving for the event in June, it's going to be just as diverse as Lemuria is, as they choose it to be. I'm merely a facilitator of my higher self and of the guides that I choose to connect with as a soul being having a human experience. Ashra is really interesting to me. She's been in my world for a really, really long time. And a couple of my teachers have really worked with her extensively, which I was not aware of until Ashra came into my world in a more profound way. What I love about her, and of course, as with all of the goddesses and deities, they're connected through the timeline, right? So Hathor is Isis, and Ashra and Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, and Macha and Maeve, and all these different goddess-type energies that are coming in the collective and really helping us to remember. What I think was most intriguing with me, with Ashra, is number one, when she comes in, it's like she's me and I'm her, like we're seated in the same seat. Or when I work with other guides that come into channel, it's more like I'm sitting in the waiting room watching it all happen. So it's a little bit of a different experience for me. The other thing about Ashra is she was one of the few goddesses or deities that were allowed to stay, you know, in the Muslim culture and the Islamic culture and the Jewish cultures. When the kings were taking over and they were removing and destroying all of the female relics, all of the female deities, the queen came to her husband and said, honey, I love and honor what you're doing, but women need a woman to pray to help them through giving birth, through having their moon cycles. through these different parts of them that men could never possibly comprehend, just as there's things that men experience that women could never possibly comprehend. So for 160 years, they allowed Asherah to be the only female deity until they eventually destroyed that as well. So when she came to me, it was really kind of a powerful experience because she's so loving and connected and feels so similar, not the same, but similar in energy to the Telosian, and how they come in. And their energy is very, very present, very grounded, very loving. And I really appreciated that. And her information, when I first started working with Asherah, I was like, all right, Ruben, test this one out for me. And she was just so grounded in who she is and in that it's about the people, that it isn't about her being some deity to be worshipped. It's about her holding space, because as we shift and grow, so can they. They're coming from a different realm and dimension, and they need us to be who we are to the best of our abilities and really be heart-centered, just as much as we need them to guide us. Telos is a city inside the mountain, inside of Mount Shasta. And what's really inspiring to me is, being that I've lived here and I quite often venture out to that mountain. There's 3 parts to it. There's multiple volcanoes here in Mount Shasta. And Mount Shasta's volcano, where it meets in the point, it's actually 3. So if you went to around the mountain, you would have 3 different terrains because it's 3 different volcanoes coming together. And what I found to be really interesting is that on one part of the volcano, it's very military oriented. On another part of the volcano, it's very desolate and very volcanic. And then on the other side of the mountain, it's lush and green and magical and beautiful. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I can kind of see that we have 3 different experiences going on in this mountain. And from my own experience, being in Telos and going through those spaces in the 3D, not just in meditation, Telos is a beautiful, beautiful place for us to learn how to remember. They used to come out into Shasta all the time until about 2018. 2018 was the last time we really would see Telosians come out of the mountain and come into our shops, and you would know. You would absolutely know that they're not from here. 7 feet tall, men and women. Their energy is different. The way they move is different. The way they speak is different. And you could almost say, are they from this country or they're from that country? But you'll never be able to pinpoint where that space is because truly they're not from either. So Telos is a really beautiful anchored energy to bring balance. What I find the difference to be between the event and why I felt so drawn to really be present in Mount Shasta during this time is because Lemuria is a huge part of our world, whether we're aware or not. People every day are really doing their best to find their center and find their joy and find their balance. And Lemuria is a great example of that through the histories. They dated back to the Druid times, the Native American times, the Hawaiian, Polynesian still hold that energy. And that's why you feel that depth of love and depth of compassion. And Mount Shasta is definitely a hub of that energy. It only makes sense to come into an event where you can not only experience that love consciousness and that community and find your tribe, but you can also tap into other spaces that maybe you want to explore and you don't know how to get there on your own. And the difference between coming in person and not coming in person is when you're in person, you're going to have those one-on-one moment experiences, not just with the presenters and the founders and the different people that are working the event, but with your community too. We're all community. So the people that are coming to have this experience, maybe you're sitting next to a stranger and they introduce themselves and they have a question, and that question ignites you and brings that presence to you. And that's why coming together is so important. And this event is going to bring that in many, many layers. If you guys can't make it this year, there's always next year, number one. And number two, have a party. Get on the live stream, order your ticket, have it in your house, and bring the people that you feel are going to resonate. Bring the people that are going to ask the question. Sometimes the journey is about the questions and not so much about the answers. It allows an opportunity for you to find the answers within you. At the end of the day, Lemurian Life Expo is about you experiencing you. And however you get there is going to be perfect.